Well, Harry, thanks for taking the time to talk with us this morning on location at the Long Beach Grunion Gazette, where you've been the editor for over 28 years now.
Thanks for asking me, Pastor Tim. I'm honored to be here.
Well, our church is, as you know, currently studying the Lord's Prayer, and this week we're going to be reflecting on the line, "Your kingdom come." Now, we want to hear about your work, but before that, can you tell us how God's kingdom, which is his good and gracious rule, has impacted you personally? And maybe another way to ask that is, how has King Jesus been an improvement over King Harry?
That question kind of summarizes in a nutshell my journey in faith. Most people who know me know I'm a control freak. And I literally, every time I try to take control of situations, God guides me back to the right path, and not always gently either. Ultimately, Jesus has put me where I need to be, even when I don't like it while I'm there.
Well, for those who don't know, you've spent a lot of your life in service to others, not only through the newspaper, but also through your volunteer work. So a question we have is, how have you sought to advance God's kingdom, his rule, through these avenues, through your vocational life and your nonprofit work?
Well, I think it's really a matter of the golden rule, loving your neighbor. It's great to feel like you love your neighbor, but I believe the Bible tells us to do something with that feeling. I believe that as Christians, we need to model out a Christian life. That includes service. And I try to lead by example, as well as maybe a little bit by my words. Most people who care about such things know that I'm a Christian. So hopefully they see what God is calling me to do.
Now, some people work for the money they'll make, and others pursue whatever vocation for the status that it'll grant them. And if those ever were your motivation, it does not seem to be the case today. Why do you do what you do, Harry?
Well, it's for community. It's really all about community. I want to be able to make my home a better community, a better town, a better place to live. And I found that a community newspaper is a pretty good way to do that. I made the decision almost 30 years ago that writing about what people care about, their neighborhood, their kids, their issues, was the best way to make a difference. Daily newspapers and websites have a role, but I firmly believe that community newspapers are what ties the community together. It provides a place for people to talk with their neighbors. I've been blessed to have a platform where I can try to do some good. I can tell people about causes they can become involved in, events that they can attend to support service agencies, and offer real facts about the issues that are important to them. And as an added bonus, I get to sneak in some Christianity once in a while too. I call that my guerrilla evangelism. That happens mostly in my column, A Pinch of Salt. But if you read it, you'll know that I sneak God in there once in a while.
2020 has been a banner year. The pandemic, racial tension, the upcoming election, whatever we don't see yet but is just around the corner, it's a lot. Where is your hope in all of this?
That's a tough question. I have to deal with every one of those issues every day. And it's easy to get buried by the pain and the anger. That's when I need to stop and turn to God to remember where my real priorities are, where my salvation lies. This year is only a blip in God's time, and I cling to that hope to be with Him for eternity. I know it sounds a little corny, but it's true.